The Bohemian Grove. If you read into conspiracy theories, you've likely heard about the Bohemian Grove. Well, despite everything you've read and seen, there's something you haven't heard. A dark theory no one has considered or talked about. It's one of those places, shrouded in mystery, and that's not by mistake. It's completely intentional. I've only been vaguely familiar with it. I heard about it, thought it sounded pretty strange, but I didn't think much about it, and I didn't know all the details. Well, due to some sleepless nights recently, finding myself up late, reading and watching some of the most random videos, I came upon the Bohemian Grove and started reading more into it, watching several videos, listening to numerous theories. And upon doing so, I've discovered a new theory for what may be occurring there, a theory no one has talked about. But first, let's cover the bases. So what do we already know about the Bohemian Grove? Well, the Bohemian Grove is a 2,700-acre restricted campground located in Sonoma, California. Every year during mid-July or midsummer, the Bohemian Grove hosts a 2-week encampment for only the most influential and powerful men in the world. When it was first established in 1872, it appeared to be just an exclusive social club created by a group of male artists, writers, actors, lawyers, and journalists, all focused on a shared interest in the arts and culture. But it soon expanded to include wealthy politicians from powerful families, affluent businessmen, and other wealthy men of great social and political influence. Females are not allowed, only men, all who have been white males as well, and the Grove's values are conservative. To join, one must receive several invitations from the members of the Grove. There is also a wait list of 15 to 20 years and an initiation fee of $25,000, along with yearly costs. Famous powerful men that were or continue to be members of the Bohemian Grove include all Republican presidents since 1923 to George W. Bush. Trump has not been invited thus far. He would tweet out all their secrets anyway, so probably a good decision on their part. Powerful media influencers, newscasters, prominent businessmen, and oil barons are also members of the Grove. 3 of the 5 most powerful families in the world, the Rockefellers, the Morgans, and the Bushes, attend the Bohemian Grove. William Casey, a CIA director, Henry Kissinger, Nixon's Secretary of State, and geopolitical consultants and national security advisors are also members. So you have to wonder, what do these people do there? What's going on in there? Well, if we are to believe what the Grove states, it's just a social club for men to misbehave, like a frat party. There's excessive social drinking, public urination, basically a bunch of rich men acting like children while ruining the forest. But why only once a year? Why is it so secretive? Why the need for so much protection to keep people unaware of what's going on if it's just a dumb party? Just a hangout? And since it's only once a year for a couple weeks, why is there year-round security that employs ex-military personnel and high-end security equipment, which includes thermal night vision cameras, motion detectors, and vibration sensing alarm systems? What are they hiding in there even when they're not around? The Bohemian Grove has a motto, "Weaving spiders come not here," which comes from William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. They use this motto to claim that any discussion or contracts relating to business are not to be made in the Grove. But this is the one time of year where so many powerful men are in one area for an extended amount of time. It's a great networking event. So what's the chances they're not talking business? Well, surprise, there isn't a chance that's not happening. And we know this to be true because members of the Bohemian Grove have admitted that important political and business deals have been developed there. Those of which include a planning meeting in September 1942 for the Manhattan Project, which was research and development during World War II that created the first nuclear weapons and led to the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Grove has helped politicians gain more power as well. Dwight Eisenhower gave a political address at the Grove, which provided connections that helped him get the Republican nomination. In Richard Nixon's memoir, he spoke of the significance of the Grove to his political success, stating, "If I were to choose the speech that gave me the most pleasure and satisfaction in my political career, it would be my lakeside speech at the Bohemian Grove in July 1967. This speech was a great milestone as Richard Nixon knew it would launch his White House campaign and lead him on the road to the presidency." The fact that there are oil baron members of the Grove who have great lobbying influence on the political stage with their ability to basically buy politicians and make them vote and pass legislation that is in their favor, and prominent media influencers which play a significant role in shaping the way people view politicians, legislation, society, and the world over, it's a clear sign that the Bohemian Grove is no mere hangout. So whether or not you believe in the conspiracy theories, it's quite clear that the Bohemian Grove can and has created profound and life-altering effects on the entire world. Now, the conspiracies really began to form around what is believed to be some form of evil occult ritual the Bohemian Grove performs, known as the cremation of care. It's interesting to note, as mentioned earlier, the Grove's motto, "Weaving spiders, come not here," comes from William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. The story makes references to occult studies, albeit none of them inherently dark or evil in nature, but practices like alchemy and astronomy, so it's curious that the members would borrow from such a story. The ceremonies at the Grove began with reciting poems and performing plays, but it evolved into burning effigies and mock human sacrifices. The ceremony begins with poling across a lake a small boat containing an effigy of Care called Dull Care. The ferrymen on the boat bring the effigy to a group of hooded figures in red and orange robes. The effigy is placed on an altar, and at the end of the ceremony, it is set on fire. This cremation symbolizes that members are banishing the dull cares of conscience. At the time, the Grove's primary meaning of the word care was synonymous with worry. It is an allegorical banishing of worldly cares for the members, and to present symbolically the salvation of the trees by the club. The ceremony takes place in front of a huge owl shrine. The owl is the Grove's mascot. The 40-foot owl shrine is hollow, made of concrete, over steel support stands at the head of the lake in the Grove, and the members refer to the owl as Moloch. In biblical theology, Moloch is a Canaanite god associated with the sacrifice of children through fire and war. Moloch is depicted as a bronze bull statue internally heated with fire into which victims were thrown. Akin to the Grove, the mock human effigies are thrown into the owl's shrine interior and set on fire. Some conspiracy theorists speculate that these mock human effigies may have actual humans inside, possibly children inside of it, and are real human sacrifices. Some even citing screams that can be heard during this ritual from video taken of the Grove by those that have snuck in. But of course, it's difficult to know anything for certain. It's also believed that there are orgies among the male members and possibly with trafficked children and female prostitutes. Now we can take Moloch in the literal sense of it being the demon Moloch. And if you're wondering, Well, how do we know if these people at the Grove even believe in demons? Well, we can inductively reason that they would believe in demons given their members are known for being religious conservatives and Republicans. If they follow the traditions of Christian or Abrahamic doctrine, they'll believe in the demons within those texts as well. So we could assume what the conspiracies state, that the cremation of care is simply a ritual to the demon Moloch through the use of sacrifices for some nefarious reasons. Perhaps asking the demon to aid these powerful men in keeping and expanding their power and influence over the world. But these sacrificial requests are not associated with Moloch. Moloch wasn't believed to be used for powerful men to maintain power, so what can we make of that? And why does the Grove use an owl? If they're not even hiding the name of the demon, why change the demon's appearance? Well, what if I told you Moloch is not the demon they're worshipping, and Moloch is simply a reference to terminology? It is believed that the name Moloch is based in the root term milk. Milk? MLK? No idea how to pronounce that, but it's a biblical term for king. However, it has been argued by theologians that milk was not to be taken as a theonym or a proper deity name, but as a term for a type of fire sacrifice, and that the terms Lemolek as a milk sacrifice was later reinterpreted as the bull-shaped Canaanite god we know today. But Moloch is a term that has been used to refer to a person or thing demanding or requiring a costly sacrifice. So if Moloch is a term denoting a needed sacrifice of great cost, who is the demon they are worshipping? Examining everything about the Grove and its rituals, it all points to the demon Andras. Andras, a once fallen angel, now a high-ranking demon, is a great marquis of hell, having under his command 30 legions of demons. He is the 63rd of the 72 spirits of Solomon. He is a night demon, meaning night is the best time to summon him. Andras has the head of an owl and a winged angel body, riding upon a strong black wolf, wielding a sharp and gleaming sword. Andras' associated elements are fire and air. Its colors are red and orange, and its offerings are blood and sex. This aligns with the Grove's practices, its idol being an owl, the ritual takes place at night, and the use of Andras' elements air given the location of the ritual being a forest, and fire as the ritual makes use of fire to burn effigies and mock sacrifices. And the Grove members also wear robes in the colors of red, orange, and black, the same colors associated with Andras. The conspiracies surrounding the Grove state they sacrifice humans and have orgies. So if that's true, that's pretty much the offerings for Andras. Although we don't have concrete evidence for any orgies between the members, thankfully my eyes have been spared, there might actually be some sexual conduct based on Richard Nixon's comments, which were discovered on secret tape recordings of him speaking about the Bohemian Grove. And there's also Bill Clinton, who made a joke about it when asked about the Grove by an audience member. He responded, "The Bohemian Club, that's where all those rich Republicans stand naked against redwood trees." So maybe there's something to that orgy claim. Hopefully none of that activity is with trafficked women or children. So if the Bohemian Grove is truly doing all of this, what could they be requesting from Andras? Well, the demon Andras sows discord among people. Andras is considered to be a highly dangerous demon who could kill the conjuring magician and his assistants if precautions are not taken. He teaches those whom he favors how to kill their enemies, servants, and masters, and the ability to force opponents to attack their allies. He stirs up trouble and dissension. He is the spirit of death and will slay many by natural means. And due to the subtle nature of his work, he is believed to be extremely difficult to detect. Andras is also believed to be very skilled in using people's own anger against them, infecting people with uncontrollable rage. Due to these abilities possessed by Andras, Andras was alleged to be frequently summoned by military leaders to use his abilities to incite wars that last for decades, ultimately redefining nations and continents. So what better way to maintain control and expand influence and power the world over than to have this demon by your side, causing turmoil to those that stand to stop you, ridding yourself of all obstacles, ensuring the world over is affected by your influence, all for money and power. Looking into the US government and the governments of many other countries, if not all countries, there's certainly a continuing theme of sacrificing what's ethically and just factually good for humanity in pursuit of money and power. There are people in power that will and have done anything, and I mean anything, for more of that power, inciting wars, killing and torturing innocents, quieting dissent, causing turmoil in other countries, making them unstable enough to be vulnerable to their influence, and forcing regime change in other governments in order to put into power authoritarian rule that will benefit them, and the list goes on and on. Knowing this, human sacrifices to the demon Andras doesn't even seem so unbelievable in comparison. But who knows what's going on in the Bohemian Grove? It's definitely something they don't want us to know, and as curious as I am, I personally don't want to find out. Maybe someday someone will expose it, but for now, it remains a daunting mystery. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this content, and stay safe out there.